Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Speed Gaming 2. This is the 2025 Link to the Past Randomizer Main Tournament. My name is Phantom Ryu, here pulling double duty and going solo for you guys here tonight with some great action coming to you. Casual boot seed between Raja and tstew. This is going to be excellent. I don't know how there managed to be 3 flippers in a row in the seed hash, but you know what? It happens. So but we will be getting ready to go here in just a moment. And we will see some good casual boots going on. Get to the chopper, the castle. So this is casual boots, just like the standard format of the game here. We will be running through the escape sequence. Both of our runners using the standard Link sprite here. And we are off. Little bit of love on the uncle here. Let us see what we have in this other chest. We got blueberries. A lot of times we would want bombs, but we're in casual boots here, so even with the bombs, we would or even without the bombs, we'd still be able to get into the back of escape. So that's not going to be too terribly much of a concern. Again, this is standard casual boots. We will see what else we have here waiting for us in the castle escape. Oh, we've got early glove. All right, we got keys galore here in escape. Raja, go back and grab that. So early glove is a good sign. It lessens the likelihood that we're going to have to do an Aghanim seed here. With the runners taking out the ball and chain guard, getting the big key, and in Zelda's chest we've got big love. This is all very familiar to anybody who's played the original game. We are just getting Zelda out of here. But the items, obviously, are a little mixed up here. But this is standard. This is the standard game world where all the locations are the same. 7 crystals to beat Ganon. But because this is randomizer, you may or may not have to do all 3 of the pendant dungeons and pull the pedestal. We just don't know. The odds of a pedestal seed are relatively low, but still within the realm of possibility. But like I said earlier, with that early mitts, the odds are getting away from us. And in the standard world state that we have here, even though our runners do not have the lamp, they are still provided with the cone of light as if they had the lamp, but only for back of escape. So if they were to go into, say, Eastern Palace that has a dark room, they would lose that light cone. This is only for the back of escape in standard mode. And we find the map here. Not terribly interesting for either one of our runners. Zelda's headlamp, says chat. Never thought about it like that, but that's probably accurate. In the back of escape, we've got Little Love, Big Bombs, and Stop Hammer Time. So yeah, now we are in a situation that, because we have both the hammer and the power glove, the only way that this would be an Aghanim required seed is if the Moon Pearl was on the pyramid. So Aga seed pretty much dead already. In Sank Chest, we got 20 bucks. Nobody really cares. See if we get a map check here from tstew. We do not. How about a map check from Raja? Nope, they're just going to drive on. And of course, likely both of our runners here are going to hit up the Bonk Rocks, see what is lying in wait there. It is just 20 bucks. So lots of good stuff in Escape with the hammer and the glove, but nothing really we can do with either one of those right now. Looks like both of our runners are heading north here to check what is on Lumberjack. Neither runner checks the tree pull. Interesting there. I did not see on tstew's screen what the item was on Lumberjack. It looked red, probably just 20 rupees. That's exactly what it was, 20 rupees. Check mushroom spot. It is the booger, aka the green rupee. Let's see what the drop down gives us today. It is the laser stick, aka the fire rod. So some good armament early between the hammer and the fire rod. Yeah, we do start off in casual boots with a sword, but obviously the hammer does tempered sword damage, so good to have early in the game. And let us see. So Raja does do a tree pull there and gets 4 red rupees. So that's 80 rupees there as tstew heads on into Blind's Hut here in Kakariko Village. We got 5 items here in Blind's Hut. The first one is Big 20, just 20 rupees. Another Big 20. We got the Book of Medora, Little Love, and one more item in here in the back. It is just 3 bombs. So we have a fire source. We have the Book of Medora. Desert Palace is completable at this point. Since we started with the boots, obviously we cannot be boot locked in Desert Palace, so regardless of what is on that torch in Desert Palace, we can complete it at this stage of the game. Down into the well here in Kakariko Village, we have 10 rupees. $20 rupees. Little Love. Nice rod, and 5 rupees. So we have already found both rods. This will not turn into a true ice rod hunt today. Ice rod being one of those items that can be almost anywhere in the game, and if Turtle Rock is a required dungeon. Okay, Tower of Hera is the green pendant, and Desert is a 5/6 crystal. Yes. Exactly, chat. Turtle Rock is a pendant again. We found both rods early. Turtle Rock must be a pendant. Little Love here in Chicken Hut. And as of this moment, it seems like the seed is trying to push our runners toward Eastern Palace. Let's see what else they may find before then. Just $20 in the brewery. Let us see what is in the library today. It is the flute. So probably our runner's going to do a quick backtrack and activate that flute. Definitely going to help them get around early in the game. Good early find, even though it may not be required. Okay, both runners are going to check the race game first. Race game is just 10 arrows. They are not going to bother, but they are going to head back up into Kakariko Village, activate that flute, and the search for more items continues. Again, the seed is pointing our runners towards Desert Palace, given what they have, but there's still plenty of checks available, so they may or may not head that way. Let's see where they run. All right, looks like both of our runners are going to check the dam and likely Mini Moldorm Cave and Ice Rod Cave before they head over to Desert Palace. There's just a shield there in the dam. Neither one of our runners wanted to see that, but we do still have one more item by draining the dam here, or by opening the dam here and draining the swamp. Let us see what they get. It is a boomerang, and tstew says, I don't want it. Raja says, oh, why not? Thought for a second there, tstew was going to get a twofer there with that one bomb on those Mini Moldorms. Was not to be. Mini Moldorm Cave today is giving us 20 rupees, another 20 rupees, bombs, 50 rupees, and the Master Sword. So it wasn't completely useless. Looks like tstew's going to head straight to desert area. Not going to bother with Ice Rod Cave at this point, and it looks like Raj is probably about to do the same. No, Raja is going to head up to eastern area, likely going to check Sahasrara, 3 items in his closet. Meanwhile, tstew heading on into Desert Palace. There are only 2 items in Desert Palace. There are 3 in Sahasrara's closet. So Ether in Desert, another shield, 20 rupees, and little love there in Sahasrara's closet. Big key on the torch there in Desert. Raja heading up the mountain. Gonna go ahead and grab the old man here. The desert is in fact a 5/6 crystal, so Raja navigating the dark room there to get the old man. At this skill level and being in the tournament here, none of our runners are going to have any problems navigating the dark rooms. And the old man today is giving us half magic. Certainly won't turn that down. It's not progression, but one of the best items in the game as far as making sure you can survive. Doubles the number of shots you can fire with that laser stick. All right, now Raja decides to go ahead and do Desert Palace. As we saw earlier, only 50 rupees on the desert ledge. Don't think any one of our runners. They may take it if they want to have an easier time getting enough money for Zora at this point. Obviously, tstew decided not to do that. We'll see if Raja decides to take those free 50 rupees in the event that Zora has some kind of progression today. Stew making short work of the landmillas. Let's see what they drop. Just the map, but we do have that all-important crystal. So 14 minutes into the seed, we have our first dungeon complete. But the next question is, where do we go from here? Raja coming back, checking that big chest. It's the key to the right side, so may have one more item here in Desert Palace. And Raja does take that 50 rupees. Yeah, early on in the game here, rupees are kind of important because we want to make sure that we've got our 500 to visit the purveyor extraordinaire of life lessons, King Zora. There's the second item for desert. It is the Moon Pearl. So we now have Dark World access. tstew going to take the eastern exit here from desert and go ahead and check Agina. But we do now have Dark World access. That opens up a whole bunch of checks for us. Let's see where our runners decide to go and what items they may find. Agina today just has 20 bucks. I'm going to save and quit, and I imagine tstew, first thing he's going to do is head to the Dark World. And he's going to go south from Link's house, use the teleporter behind the hammer pegs here. Probably check out Hype Cave and possibly the pyramid. Oh, and the mitts at Hype Cave. Wow. There's a bottle, little love, and a big heart container, but those mitts are huge. Now, we are 17 minutes into the seed. We have the mitts, and man, that opens up so many checks at this point in time. The world is our runner's oyster at this point, and there are so many places they can go now with these mitts. A lot of runners that I've talked to don't like having the mitts early because it opens up so much and it doesn't really tell you where you can go. There's 100 rupees on Stumpy. Not too much progression here. Looks like Stew is going to run over and check Dig Game first, and then likely... Oh, here we go. Skull Woods is a 5/6 crystal. Looks like Pod is a pendant. Nice. Dig Game only takes 3. It is a piece of heart, and we are out of there relatively quickly. tstew looks like he's thinking about it. Okay, he does in fact save and quit. Going to go ahead and pick up Jeremiah, take him back to his brother. Or maybe take him on a little tour here. Little pit stop over at the King's Tomb. And King's Tomb just has a piece of heart. Definitely want to get that check out of the way so it doesn't end up burning you later. Stu also going to check Sick Kid before he brings the Smith back. Sick Kid has just 20 bucks. Taking the poor kid's allowance. Looks like Raja is also about to check Stumpy. Going to be very disappointed. But the Smiths today have blue goo. Stu fluting away. Let's see to where. One screen over. I mean, that saved a little bit of time. Not too much, but a little bit. All right, looks like Swamp Palace is also a pendant today. Stu has the fire rod, so obviously that's the only. As long as you got a fire rod and a sword, you can technically clear Skull Woods. But let's see what we find here in Skull today. There is the Quake medallion. We've got 2 out of the 3 medallions that we need. Obviously, we will need at least 1 because of Mire and Turtle Rock. Possible that we'll need 2, so it's good to have 2 out of 3 at this point. For a second there, I thought that Gibdo was going to knock T-Stew right into the Wallmaster. Luckily, he did not get grabbed by the Wallmaster. Really ought to be called Ceiling Master, but it's fine. Nothing interesting so far in Skull Woods, but there's a lot more Skull Woods left to explore, so. As chat just noted, Raj, you have flute. Yeah, flute could have saved him some time there. But you know, when you get in a groove, when you're playing a whole lot of rando, and you don't always have the flute, sometimes the muscle memory kicks in, and you just forget to use it. Now, Stu does not have half magic, which means he needs to be a little judicious with his fire rod use around here. You obviously want to save as much of the fire rod as you can for Mothula, because the fire rod does the same amount of damage as a tempered sword strike to Moth, but at this level of competition, I am not remotely concerned about our runner's ability to handle slightly difficult boss fights. Mothula not cooperating with Stu today. Hanging out up at the top up there where it's very difficult to damage him. All right, just the map on Mothula. So we still have, I believe, 1 item to find here in Skull Woods. Skull Woods has 2 items. And so it looks like Stu is going to be checking a couple more chests until he finds a second item. Meanwhile, Raja right on Stu's heels here. Raja has done a couple more checks. As you can see, he does have half magic. Just a key there in Skull Woods. We'll see if Stu decides to take a death warp. Nope, he's going to walk out instead. Stu still searching for one more item here in Skullwoods. I almost made myself my own tongue twister there. But again, we've got the mitts, so many checks we can do. We have the hammer, so right after this, Thieves Town is also full clearable. And as a crystal dungeon, there's no reason why our runners wouldn't go ahead and do it. Moth being a little more cooperative for Raja than he was for Stu. I missed the item that Stu just picked up there in Skullwoods. I think it was just a key, though. Just a compass. Got one more item to check here. And it is Big Love, so no progression here in Skullwoods, but again, it is a required dungeon, so we did get that lovely, delicious crystal that we need. 25 minutes into this seed, our runners, or at least, yeah, our runners each have 2 dungeons complete, both Desert Palace and Skullwoods. T2 going to check Bumper Cave up here now, and on Bumper Cave we have the shovel. Can't get it now because we don't have the cape, but the odds are low, but not zero, that shovel could be important. Stu going to give us a view of the village of outcasts. Sea Hut is our first check. That is just going to be 10 arrows. No progression here today. Imagine T2's just going to go ahead and clear out Thieves Town and then... Nope, it's going to open Thieves Town and then check Village of Outcasts. Okay, I sit corrected. And the mushroom, yet another fetch quest there at Chest Game. And T2 does, in fact, get his bomb back. Just a little love there in Bomb Hut. All right, we've got 4 checks here in the front of Thieves Town. We get the big key first. Compass is the second check here in Thieves Town. Got a little love there. One more item here. It's just the map. So we have a couple more items in the back of Thieves Town. Stu taking a couple hits there from the Fire Snake and the Spark. Raja seeing that shovel over on Bumper Cave. Gonna save that for later. Head up into the attic here in Thieves Town. We have the bow. So both of our runners now can clear Eastern and Pod, because as I said earlier, although both of them have dark rooms, neither one of our runners really needs the lamp to clear those dungeons. Tstew here going to make his way down into the basement of Thieves Town. Going to pick up blind, possibly check the big chest. We will see. Because the other small key can be locked in the big chest. It is not today, so I have to imagine that Stu is going to go ahead and check that big chest just in case. There's only one more item left in here, I think. Don't trust an old man to count. There's 50 rupees. Not necessary, but you definitely don't want to leave an easy check like that unchecked. All right, it is time for blind. Let's see if Stu can get the script. All going according to script so far. Phase 1 down. Phase 2 goes exactly according to script. And, oh, there, phase 3 down. Just blueberries on blind, but we do have our third crystal out of 7 at this point. Still missing a lot of items for go mode. I say that when we're only 30 minutes into the seed, but we're only 30 minutes into the seed and have 3 dungeons complete, so... So this hammer dash you're seeing here is a glitch that is exclusive to the 1.0 Japanese version of the ROM, which is why we run that version of this game, is because it has a lot of really cool glitches that are very helpful in speedrunning the game. Stu has the purple chest. Imagine he's just going to flute here, take it over to Gary. It is just big love. Let's see where Tstew decides to go next. As I said earlier, we can complete both Pod and Eastern. Looks like Stu is going to complete Eastern first. Since we don't have the mirror, we can't do a very quick clear of both of them, but if there's no mirror, well, he's doing Eastern first, never mind. But likely clear Eastern and then flute back to the portal there and do Pod. Three items here in Eastern Palace. There is 1 out of 3. Little love. Plenty of life in this seed. We've already started our second row of hearts. So we're still going to need, at a minimum, we're going to need logically, we're going to need the hook shot, the cane of Samaria, possibly another medallion. Logically, we will need the lamp. Logically, we will need the flippers. But given that Swamp Palace is not a crystal, it is possible that our runners will not need the flippers because you can get to Ice Palace without the flippers. And of course, yes, logically we would need the lamp, but neither one of our runners really need it at this skill level. Just 20 rupees there. Stu is going to go ahead and check the vanilla big key chest. Whenever I run this game, every time I skip the big key chest, it's the third item in Eastern, so I don't blame tstew at all for doing this. Interestingly enough, our runners seem to be following almost the exact same routing through this seed. I say as we get a divergence, this divergence here, Raja is going to go ahead and turn in the mushroom. And I completely missed what that was on Stu's side. But looking at his tracker, it doesn't look like it was anything of consequence. Compass. Thank you, chat. And I also missed what the... This is why you need a co-commentator. I completely missed what was at the mushroom turn-in. And unfortunately, we have some mild technical difficulties with Raj's tracker. So I can't check his tracker and see what it was. 20 rupees. Thanks, guys. So as yet, nothing of consequence. Our runners are basically following each other's paths. Raja is just a minute or two behind Stu at this point. I say behind, but this is rando, and if there is a route divergence at any point, finding a progression item can be the difference between victory and defeat. There is our lamp. Again, not that our runners require it, but they certainly won't turn it down. 36 minutes into the seed, we have 4 dungeons complete. See where Stu goes from here. Stu has not yet checked Sahasrala's closet, so... And Raja checked that earlier, so we knew that was nothing of consequence. I imagine this is going to be a flute to 5. No. We're going to check and see what Meyer is. We're going to check Meyer's shed. And the medallion for Meyer, we're not going to get a glimpse of that yet. It is Quake. Meyer's shed today has 10 rupees, and that's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane! Kane of Samaria, and yep, Stu's just gonna go right into Meyer. Nothing like leaving the keys right outside the front door. There are only 2 items in Misery Mire, but it is a crystal, so we have to do it anyway. Might as well do it now. You know, chat aptly pointing out that, oh man, and of course it's a Godmire when you have to full clear it. Yeah, chat rightly pointing out we may still need Bombos for Turtle Rock, and we need either the mirror or the hook shot to get to GT. And to answer the question in the chat, I do not know if either of our runners can do Moldorm Bounce or Hover. There's the silvers here in Misery Mire. Stu opting not to go and check Vanilla Big Key Chest. Nice little rail clip there from Stu. Yeah, so Raja completed Eastern, and Raja is just going to loop right back around to Pod. So a little bit of a route divergence here. I don't know how much difference this will make, even if there is progression in Pod, because I would imagine that Pod is going to be Stu's next stop. I think we still have one more item in Misery Mire, although my old man brain may be fooling me. Raja gets the big love there in Shooter Room, so that means that logically Pod is boot locked. Stu with the spooky action there. Stu has the silvers, luckily, so Vitreous is going to be relatively easy here. Heck, not even relatively easy, it's totally easy. But Vidi being, taking 2 silvers to kill there, that's a tough you-know-what. Alright, we're 42 minutes in, and Stu has 5 dungeons complete. And Stu looks like he's going to opt for Ice Palace instead of Pod. With this route divergence, I have to be paying attention to each item they pick up here. Roger just finding another key here in Pod. And a third key. See a little icebreaker here from Stew. Ten arrows, no help. More keys in pod. All the keys. All the keys. 10 arrows here in ice. Just a compass in ice. 10 arrows here in pod. Raja heading down Harmless Hellway. Gets 300 rupees. No help there, just the map for Stew. Stew setting up a bomb jump. Little love there in Dark Maze. Big key in Iced Tea Room. I missed what Raja found there in Dark Maze. But Raja does not yet have the bow. We got Little Love sitting up on top of Spectacle Rock. Just bombs in the Ice Palace big chest. Just bombs in Spectacle Rock Cave as well. Raja fluting out of the mountain. Looking for a fake flipper and gets it. Raja heading to Wishing Fairy, gonna buy some extra bombs and some extra arrows. Stew's like, I've got multiple blue potions. I am not worried about running out of magic. Alright, put Cold Stare in the corner. Cold Stare escapes. Couple spins here. You know, green mail. Yeah, ow. Gosh, Cold Stare hurts when you have green mail. Stew's gonna have to be careful here. Looks like he's gonna be fine. Cold Stare is down, and Cold Stare drops a key. But without the hook shot or the mirror, Stew has no way to get to Eastern Death Mountain. So it may require some dipping of a pendant dungeon. I mean, well, Swamp Palace is out because we don't have the mirror at this point. Raja going old school here with the Ice Palace bomb jump first try. Stu finally getting his half magic from the old man. He's about to be sorely disappointed with what he sees in Spectacle Rock Cave. And we're running low on checks here, and we'll notice that Stu only has 300 rupees, so he's unable to check Zora. And it is big bomb time, checking Pyramid Fairy for progression that we so desperately crave at this point in time. I think Stu may have been thinking about checking Hobo, but realized, wait a minute, I don't have the mirror. Good bomb jump there by Raja as well in Ice Palace. Just a big 20 up there on the pyramid, so still don't know where our hook shot or our mirror is. Big 20. Pyramid Fairy refills with a B. And there is our mirror at 51 minutes. Well, he's in hover go mode if Stu can hover. So we are logically still waiting on the hook shot, possibly Bombos. We do not yet know if Turtle Rock is Bombos. If it is, we are waiting for a couple of different items. So Stu has quite a few checks he can do now as well. The entire mountain is at his fingertips. 300 rupees there on Ether Tablet, no help. Unless, of course, the hook shot is sitting with Zora. As Raja has cleared out Ice Palace. All right, just a bee in a bottle sitting there on Floating Island. That is not our progression. Let us find out if we are going to have to look for a medallion or not, as T-Stew is going to open up the portal to Turtle Rock. Moment of truth here. It is Bombos. We are waiting on another medallion. So we are going to have to find even more. Stu is going to check Hookshot Cave. Be able to check one here if he can't hover. There's the powder. Go fetch. Let's see if our key is here in Super Bunny Cave. There's our hook shot. So Stu is a Bombos away from go mode at this point. And now that we have the hook shot, we'll go back to Hookshot Cave. Little Love, Big 20, Big Love. Chat is correct. Technically, at this point, Bombos could be on the pedestal. Well, now we have the Spiral Cave. There is Bombos at 54 minutes and 53 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, tstew is in go mode. And as tstew heads back up to Turtle Rock for his final crystal dungeon, I'd like to remind you that if you are enjoying what you're seeing here tonight, and obviously how could you not be, to go ahead and give our two runners a follow here on Twitch. They are putting in hard work for your entertainment, and they deserve your follows. And also, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here, which of course you are, make sure that you follow the Speed Gaming family of channels, Speed Gaming OG, Speed Gaming 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for all of your 2025 Link to the Past randomizer main tournament needs. There is tons of rando still coming your way, and if you're not following all of those channels, you may not know when you're gonna see it. So make sure you give them a follow for more awesome rando action coming your way here. But tstew is going to enter Turtle Rock now. Obviously, we will not be doing Master Sword Silverless today, but depending on the checks that Stu does, it may be a Master Sword Ganon, so spin to win, unless we get lucky here. As Raja goes into Misery Mire. We are in Roller Room here in Turtle Rock. There's a small key and another small key. Stu's just going to mirror back out. Raja using the blue potion here on the eyeballs. There's our Turtle Rock big key. And Raja does not yet have the silver arrows. Chomp's giving Stu a little bit of trouble there, takes a death, but it's probably not going to be a huge difference maker. This time Stu avoids the chomps. And we're here into the Mario section of Turtle Rock with all the pipes. I imagine Stu is just gonna get this key and nope out. Yep. No need to check lava chest. So we're an hour into the seed, and I think this is the first time either one of our runners is going to check Ice Rod Cave. Chat aptly pointing out we are not going to see anything on Laser Bridge today. I'm just wondering if we're going to see any other sword upgrades, or if they're hiding out in areas that we're going to miss. Stew Planet, interesting here, and taking out the ice head first. That the firehead juking him a bit there. There's blue mail on Zora Ledge. We'll find out what Zora actually has, but as we all know, it's not going to be anything that actually helps Raja. 666 rupees. Not a good sign. Just 10 arrows on Zora. Raja opting not to get the blue mail. He's got plenty of health, so completely understand that decision. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as the 7th crystal has been found, go ahead and get your guesses in for what chest Ganon's Tower Big Key will be. My guess, as always, is 13. Nice job there by tstew, switching over to the silver arrows to take out that Lionel so he doesn't have to take a hit. Alright, we are inside Ganon's Tower at just about 1 hour into this seed. This is the second relatively jet seed in a row I've commentated. Alright, number 1 is a big 20. Number 2 is a small key. Stu paused there for a second. I wonder if he was thinking, should I just go ahead and do tile room for the lulls? No. Check number 3 is a small piece of heart. Check 4 is bombs. Check 5 is rupees. Check 6 is rupees. tstew not going to go full right. Nope's out. Check 7 is the torch. And 7. Lucky number 7 is the big key. And tstew says, nope, I'm just going to grab this second key right here so I don't even have to bother with the mini Helmas after the climb. Wonder if tstew is going to bother making any further checks that are not required just to see if he gets a tempered sword. I mean, runners at this skill level don't need the tempered sword, but no one would ever turn it down. Because having to do nothing but spins on Ganon is annoying. Raja finally finding his hook shot. Stu having a little bit of trouble with the horse heads there in the GT climb. Got to be a little careful here. Only has 3 hearts. Those Beamoses hit for a lot. The Stall Child not cooperating with him there. I'm sure he's very thankful for that heart he just picked up. But I believe Stu does have another bottle of blue goo. He's got to get this fairy here. Does so. See if he can do a 0-cycle landmow 1. Gets hit by the shooter, but still manages to get all 3 of the landmows with the silver arrows. Nicely done there on landmow 2. Now for the 2 Samaria rooms. First one down easy. Second Cana Samaria room. Nicely done. Raja about to find his mirror here in Spike Cave. That should be go mode for him. Nope, tstew not going to do any unnecessary checks here. Seems like Stu is just fine with Master Sword. Well, does make one check there, ends up being the map, not helping him. The likely check, the final chest in the game here, would be real nice if that were tempered sword. And Trolldorm lives up to his name, knocking Stu off of the platform. Probably not going to be a difference maker in this one, though. Just a little love there in the final chest of the game. So we are going to be seeing a Master Sword Ganon, but fortunately Stu does have the silvers, so... Let's see how well we can do on Aghanim 2 here. Got to double the first cycle. Double. And the triple double. Obviously, our runners, at this level, Master Sword Ganon is not a huge obstacle for them, but it does introduce, possibilities of error. And it also is going to take an inordinate amount of time. But unless I missed my guess, I believe Stu still has blue goo, so I don't believe that Stu is in any danger of dying here on Ganon, unless he decides to give Ganon too many hugs. Do not hug the pig. All right, we've started the stomping. And it's pretty much all over at this point. All right, we got one silver. Bad placement there. Did not set up Stu for a double or a triple. This will set him up for a triple. Undo. Oh, no. All right. Now it's done. So GG's to T-Stew for winning this race. And T-Stew has won this race with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 42 seconds. And Raja has officially forfeited, so well played race. Just ended up coming down to routing decisions here. As we watched this seed, our runners were basically in sync for like the first 30 to 40 minutes, going over the exact same checks. But decisions by Stu led him to find the right items earlier, and that was the difference in the race. Can't say that Raja necessarily did anything wrong. It's just that this is rando, and sometimes it comes down to where you decide to go and when. But neither one of our runners have anything to be ashamed of. Raja has nothing to be ashamed of. Obviously, T-Stew doesn't. He won the race, but Raja has nothing to be ashamed of, and nothing to say that he should have done X, because that's. A lot of that is all in hindsight, right? The decisions that he made, if they had paid off, would have been the right ones. It's difficult, especially with a random seed, to be able to say, "Oh, you should have done this, you should have done that." Very rare that you can say that, but again, a well played race by both of our runners. Glad to have them here, and we will see in a second if we can get either one of our racers in for an interview. But yeah, quick seed there, 1 hour, 11 minutes. I have never completed a randomizer seed that quickly. But while we wait and see if our runners are going to join, let me remind everybody of the rest of the action we have going on. Right now on Speed Gaming 3, we have a Kabuki seed of Gabriel Campos versus Jammo. On Speed Gaming 4, we have another Kabuki seed, MM2 NES cartridge versus Tenet. Also on Speed Gaming 5, we have a casual boot seed going on right now. BSJ 72380 versus Astro Felipe. We also have a Kabuki seed going on the main Speed Gaming, Centroid versus Homemade Beer. And then at 11:59 tonight over on Speed Gaming, we have PRD Wong versus Jula Ninja. So lots of action coming your way. And obviously you need to follow the Speed Gaming family of channels to get all of that. And speaking of following, make sure you follow both of our runners here on Twitch. I do have to apologize to our runners. Raja saying you don't have a message from the bot. I apologize. I'm not certain how to bring you in here. But great seed. Glad to have you guys here. I am looking to see if I can bring anybody into the action coming your way. Yeah. Doesn't look like I can find our runners and bring them in, and I do apologize. Oh no, wait. One moment. And we are joined by tstew. tstew, GG's and congratulations. Oh, and we have Raja here as well.
Oh, hello there.
Hello, GG.
Casual boots fast.
Yes, casual boots fast. I previously commentated a casual boot seed right before you guys, and that one was finished in an hour 13 minutes. So we got a couple of jet seeds in a row here on Speed Gaming 2.
Yeah. My friend is telling me I lost in pod, apparently the pod dip. I thought pod was a crystal, and then I was in pod and I saw the P in the corner and I was like, well, I'm here, so I hope, the red cane's here.
I made the exact same mistake while I was watching. I thought pod was a crystal, and then chat had to remind me, no, he was noping out of pendant pod. I was like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
So, but as I was saying before you came in here, Raja, yes, in hindsight, you can say that was a mistake, but it wasn't a bad decision to make at the time.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of items there. It could have been like the hook shot that could have been there, or the red cane. I went to Ice Palace because I wanted to see if Ice Palace was hook shot locked, and it wasn't.
It wasn't, yeah.
So it didn't tell me anything.
Yeah. But ultimately, like, both of y'all played very well, and it again came down really to that pod dip. Obviously, Stu, you didn't do that, and you found all of the items you needed, and just really well played for both of you. No huge execution errors that I saw, but man, could we have gotten a tempered sword?
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
Neither one of you found, both of you ended up with only the master sword, so the location of the tempered sword will forever be a mystery.
So did you go back, did you full clear Mire, Stu, or did you do the God Mire?
No, I full cleared Mire. I just skipped cutscene chest, but I cleared everything else.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was a very straightforward seed.
Yeah, it really was, and again, absolutely enjoyed watching you guys play and commentating your seed. It just, Rando's gonna rando, and Rando randoed today.
Yeah. Well, appreciate the comms. This is a last minute sign in, so love to have you, and
yeah,
appreciate it.
We have it'll be our final game for both of us. So tstew got on the board. Maybe I can get on the board on Saturday night. That'll be at 7 Eastern.
Game time.
Yeah, it's so many. Before you guys came in here, I was telling the whole chat about it. I mean, we have 4 races going on right now on Speed Gaming 3, 4, 5, and the OG. We have one more tonight at 11:59 over on the OG. So lots of rando action coming y'all's way, and absolutely appreciate you guys. Going to remind everybody again one last time to follow these runners, putting in great work for your entertainment. And yeah, I have been Phantom Ryu. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Give our runners the last word here. Hope to see everybody for more rando action in the 2025 Link to the Past Randomizer main tournament. Raja, tstew, again, great job. Tstew, congrats. But y'all get the last word.
Yep, GG, tstew, and congrats. Thank you.
Yeah, GG's again, and thanks for the comms, Phantom Ryu.
Absolutely. Glad to do it. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. Go over to the other Speed Gaming channels and watch the rest of the great action we got for you tonight. Have a good one.